I understand that people, have taken to sort of like simply blocking out what Donald Trump is saying on any type of regular basis as a way of maintaining their sanity. And I think that is actually not necessarily a bad strategy. What is, in many respects, more relevant than what he says is what his administration does. Who knows if this guy, and we'll talk about this story about the Slovakian prime minister, who apparently is like a Trump fan, met with him when Trump was over there with the EU meetings and came away just sort of terrified at his mental state. But what's far more relevant is what those around him are empowered to do and do, as it were. But his words do mean stuff. I mean, obviously, he lies all the time. He says, we're going to do a 10% tariff. We're going to do a 50% tariff. We're going to whatever it is. But his words do have meanings to the extent that there are Trump followers who hear them and then act upon them. This is what Donald Trump said just yesterday afternoon in Iowa.
That's right. Nobody is able to come into our country except for those that come in legally. We want to have people come in legally. We need people to come in legally, but they have to show that they can love our country, not hate our country. They have to show that they're not going to blow up our shopping centers, blow up our farms, kill people. They're coming in legally, but they cannot come in unless they come in legally into our country, and we're letting some great
Pause it for a second. They have what farms, shopping malls have we heard about being blown up by immigrants?
I know J.D. Vance and Scott Besson have done some damage to American farms. I don't know about.
Well, he's a farmer. Besson is a farmer, so he would
farmer on farmer.
But I mean, honestly, what? Immigrants are 26% less likely to commit a crime, I think it is, than U.S. citizens or natural-born U.S. citizens. I mean, like, he's living in a world, and I would suggest that the vast majority of people in that stadium, I mean, I don't know how many people were there. Probably not as much as he used to draw. I'm sure they all believe these same things.
And they also, like, the way they nod along, we're like, we want legal immigration. No, you don't.
I mean, this is...
Yeah, right.
The number of people that have been arrested who are legally in the process is off the charts. Go ahead.
In legally, but they cannot come in unless they come in legally into our country, and we're letting some great people come in. They have to show that they can love our country. They have to be proud. Not like Ilhan, Omar. Did you see that wise guy? You know, she's always talking about the Constitution, provides me with the following. You know, the Constitution, she comes from a country that's a disaster. It's considered, I think, it's not even a country, okay? It barely has a government. I don't think it does. They go to one thing, pirates. But they don't do that anymore. You know why? Because they get the same treatment from us as the drug dealers get. Boom, boom, boom.
Pause it for 1 second. While we're there, again, I'll remind you yesterday there were lawsuits levied by Trinidadians whose husbands were murdered by the United States on a fishing boat. And now it's possible these drug cartels are just taking a flyer and we're going to try and sue the United States and see if we can win in civil court for a wrongful death for our drug-running friends. Or it's much more likely that we as a country just have randomly murdered fishermen in boats, as he talks about pirates.
We call them terrorists because they're from a different country.
Here is a how many of these do we have this series? What is this? Just one? Or
yeah, this is just one example of what he's doing like every day.
Okay, every day Donald Trump is on Truth Social. I don't really follow him too much, but on there. But it's things like this. There's $19 billion in Minnesota Somali fraud. Fake Congressman Ilhan Omar, a constant complainer who hates the USA, knows everything there is to know. She should be in jail, or even worse, punished, sent back. Now, of course, she has nothing to do with any of the fraud that, frankly, the state of Minnesota and the DOJ under Biden was already investigating. The only thing that she has to do with it is that some of the people engaged in the fraud, not the masterminds of the entire fraudulent scheme, were Somali, and she's Somali. So in the same way, all of those people who committed fraud or other crimes that Donald Trump has pardoned are white, theoretically, we would all be implicated because we're white. But where does that all lead? We heard the reports yesterday. Maxwell Frost was punched at the Sundance Film Festival.
Told he'd be deported.
Told he would be deported. So they, this was a targeted attack on him. Here's Ilhan Omar at a town hall in Minneapolis as she's addressing the ICE invasion that's taking place there.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. I don't know.
Oh my God. Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked.
No, we will continue. These fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
You need to go get checked. No, I don't know what. That's whatever it is smells so bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know what that was.
That's what they want. Please don't let them know.
It's not about him, Ilhan. Ilhan, it's not about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprayed something on you. You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible.
We're going to keep talking. Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. I beg you. Please don't let them have the show. 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 Here is the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us. Everybody settle down. I'm going to finish my remarks. It is important for me to continue to lead my Democratic colleagues in demanding her resignation.
That's pretty impressive stuff on her part. I don't know that there's many members of Congress, frankly, who would get sprayed, and who knows what they sprayed it with her. I mean,
I would have been out.
Certainly in that moment, nobody knew. And
she cocks back for a punch.
She also looked like she was going to like clock him.
Trump responded last night to ABC News about this, and the quote is, "I don't know about her. I think she's a fraud. She probably had herself sprayed, knowing her."
Yeah. I am still old enough to remember when the comms director, Donald Trump's in his first term. What was her name? She had the eyeshadow and was Arkansas Governor Huckabee. Was yelled at a restaurant. And the New York Times, I think wrote maybe 35 exposés on it. And it was
this administration, when Stephen Miller was yelled at last year at a sushi restaurant.
I mean,
and there was a million articles.
It is stunning. Anyway, we barely heard about the Maxwell Frost thing. I mean, it was page 19, half a line. almost like a gossip spotted at Park City. I mean, this is the reality that we're living in at the moment. And we're going to need leaders like Ilhan Omar who are really unafraid or afraid, but work through it.
Unflinching.
Yeah, I think that's more relevant. I don't know that there's anybody, and we're going to talk to Eric Blanc in just a moment about what's been going on, where people have put their bodies and their wits in trying to gum up the gears for ICE there. And I can't imagine any of these people, well, whether it was Renee Good or Alex Preddy or any of them, or the people who were recording at that time, aren't afraid. It's just a matter of, working through that fear.
And letting the anger beat it out, because Renee Good didn't look that scared before she was murdered. Ilhan Omar reacted with anger. And we saw this, I don't know if it's on the sound sheet, but an ICE guy saying, if you raise your voice, we'll erase your voice. We'll have place in the fun half. The fun half.
Yep.
What guys like that don't understand is they are not scaring people. They are making all of us angry.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, there's not a lot of thought going into this on the side of ICE. It's really just, how can we round up the biggest a-holes we can who want cash and utilize their prejudice and bigotry, racism, and just point it in the right direction. And so, people remark on the sort of the complete incompetence and Keystone Cop quality of these fascists. I mean, that's sort of what fascists do. Yeah. And particularly, I do think we were sort of blessed to some extent with dumber than normal fascists. That may just be a function of the applicant pool in this country on some level, but it's also it is also the case that's what we're dealing with. But it's easier. I've always said it's easier to demo than it is to build. And so when you're going around and being a dick, you don't need a lot of brains to do the type of damage that they're doing. We're going to be talking to Eric Blanc. He is the assistant professor of labor studies at Rutgers University, who's written a couple of pieces on what activists are doing on the ground to foil ICE. And then we'll be talking to Representative Ro Khanna, California's 17th congressional district, as to what our elected leaders are doing to foil ICE. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.